In a serious situation, it would be a good laugh.
There must have been 30 or 40 people in the room policing.
I can't drive the Ferrari on the road.
Why?
Well, it's not registered.
It is, got number plates.
No, that's just pretend number plates. If they register it, it becomes second-hand and they have to pay the tax. That's why it came in a lorry.
So you can't drive it on the road either?
Nobody can drive it. It's not road legal.
Oh, no.
Mate, that's...
Oh, that is such a shame.
It's an hour of...
Oh, sorry, James. That's really a rotten bit of luck, because you've come a long way from Italy.
Soon, Richard and I were enjoying the world's best ever commute.
Oh, bloody hell. You're all right. You're all right in Italian. Oh, God.
To say this, but that Ferrari is useless.
Yes. Later on in part 2, when these two have stopped dreaming up idiotic and irrelevant tests that it can't take part in, we shall see.
We've got to tell everyone about our track. Yes, we have one. This is the sort of place where you can drive cars at speeds that you can do on the road, but only if you want to go to prison afterwards.
What, like 38 miles an hour?
Well, 39, maybe even 40 from time to time. Now, we were hoping that we could bring it round the world with us, like the tent, but unfortunately it's too heavy. And as you're about to see, too bitey.
This is it. It's not a race circuit. It's not an airfield. It's not a road. What it is brilliant and fast and extremely dangerous. It even looks dangerous on a map, because as you can see, it's the exact same shape as the Ebola virus.
Right, time now to show you what a lap looks like, and to do that, we've got a bit of a performance benchmark, a Ferrari 488. Take it away. Take it away.
First up, it's the isn't straight, so called because it isn't straight. After the second right on the isn't straight, we're into your name here corner. If you make a mistake, there's no runoff area, it's just woods. We've called this section Old Lady's House because it's right next to a house where an old lady lives. Get this 90 left right or you'll crash into a cage full of electricity. And you'll need to get the final 90 left right as well, or you'll run into a field of sheep.
So, trees, animals, a... Take it away.
First up, it's the isn't straight, so called because it isn't straight. After the second right on the isn't straight, we're into your name here corner. A.
Take it away.
First up, it's the isn't straight, so called because it isn't straight. After the second right on the isn't straight, we're into your name here corner. If you make a mistake, there's no runoff area, it's just woods. We've called this section Old Lady's House because it's right next to a house where an old lady lives. Get this 90 left right or you'll crash into a cage full of electricity. And you'll need to get the final 90 left right as well, or you'll run into a field of sheep.
So, trees, and a... Take it away.
First up, it's the isn't straight, so called because it isn't straight. After the second right on the isn't straight, we're into your name here corner. If you make a mistake, there's no runoff area, it's just woods. We've called this section Old Lady's House because it's right next to a house where an old lady lives. Get this 90 left right or you'll crash into a cage full of electricity. And you'll need to get the final 90 left right as well, or you'll run into a field of sheep.
So, trees A. Take it away.
First up, it's the isn't straight, so called because it isn't straight. After the second right on the isn't straight, we're into your name here corner. If you make a mistake, there's no runoff area, it's just woods. We've called this section Old Lady's House because it's right next to a house where an old lady lives. Get this 90 left right or you'll crash into a cage full of electricity. And you'll need to get the final 90 left right as well, or you'll run into a field of sheep.
So, trees, animals, a house, electricity, and because it's in England, usually quite a lot of moisture in the air. It really is the most dangerous track anywhere in the world. The car I've selected for my first lap of the Ebola-drome is this. The BMW M2.
Straight line as an M3, but everywhere else it is better. It feels less heavy, less cumbersome. I got back onto the isn't and unleashed 365 rampaging horsepowers from the turbocharged 3-litre straight 6.
Trip cars up.
This isn't as fast in a straight line as an M3, but everywhere else it is better. Less heavy, less cumbersome. I got back onto the isn't and unleashed 365 rampaging horsepowers from the turbocharged 3-litre straight 6.
This track was designed to trip cars up. There are fast corners, slow corners, drifty corners and bumps. It's hard on the tyres, it's hard on the brakes, it's hard on the engine. It's point and squirt and bark and yelp. It is vicious.
But there is nothing here which has flummoxed the M2. This thing is an absolute masterpiece. Like I said, it is the best M car BMW's ever made.
You may think it's mad to suggest the cheapest M car is the best, but look at it this way. This track is a lot cheaper than Silverstone, and I know which one I'd rather drive round.
Let me get this right. At our track,
Yeah.
there's trees, animals, moisture, electricity, a house, and an unexploded bomb.
Yeah. Like I said, it's the most dangerous track in the world. Honestly, it makes Imola look like a duvet.
Yeah.
It really, honestly, does. It
Anyway,
does.
all the cars that we test at the Ebola-drome will do a timed lap. And to make sure it's a completely level playing field, they will all be driven by the same racing driver.
Yeah.
Clever. It gave it some thought.
How clever is that? Now, thing is, Amazon, okay, insisted that the racing driver in question should be from this side of the pond. So we went to something called NASCAR, and we found one, and we shipped him to England, and then we introduced him to the complicated procedure which involves turning right. He's called Mike Skinner, but we know him simply as the American. Right, there he is, looking utterly bewildered. He is the American. Right, there he is. Looking utterly bewildered.
A skitter of a wheel spin, and immediately he's onto the isn't straight. He's through the final corner on the isn't straight. Into your name here. Coming up to Old Lady's house, no turbo lag at all, as he hammers down the bumpy back straight towards substation. One more 90 left to go through field of sheep.
Now, to make sure that the M2 wasn't on sort of the lap board all by itself, we got the American to put some other benchmark cars. Well, we call them benchmark cars. He calls them communist. Around the track to see what's what. There they all are. Look. Now it's time to see where the M2 goes on that board. Let's have a look. Let's put it on. Oh.
Wow!
It's
I think it's the best M car they've ever made. Oh my goodness!
yeah, look.
I prefer it to all the others that are quicker than it.
It's yes. It's got
It's definitely the one you should have if you want one that's slower than all the other M cars.
It's better. It's only It's quicker than a Civic.
Yeah. It's slower than. If you had a choice of M cars, if you lined them all up and said,
Yeah.
"I'd like the fastest," it wouldn't be that one.
Shut up.
Better in every single way.
Stop
you said.
saying
You said that.
I don't care what. Have you driven one? You know what? It's a
amazing.
fabulous car. You've driven one. It's a brilliant car. It really, honestly is.
This week, This week, we are trying to find out which of the new breed of hybrid hypercars is the best.
Yes, on day one at the track in Portugal, we established that the McLaren P1 is a mentalist, that the Porsche 918 is very good milk float, and that the Ferrari can do nothing at all.
Some of that is true. But now, day two.
We began by lining up the three most exciting cars on the planet for the drag race of all drag races. Naturally, this meant engaging launch control, which in the McLaren takes about a fortnight.
I have to have the drivetrain in track mode, the aero package in sport mode so that the rear end squats when I set off and gives me more traction. I have to have the DRS button pressed with my thumb to keep the rear wing open, which reduces drag, obviously.
Launch control. In the Porsche, left foot on the brake, hard. Right foot on the throttle, hard. Light goes green, left foot off brake, ping!
Launch button pressed for 2 seconds, left foot on brake, right foot on throttle.
Press launch control, mash the throttle, within 4 seconds, release the brake.
3 seconds later, I have full boost, and I have to set off then within 3 seconds or the entire system disengages.
I'm going to get these wrong, just so you know. I've got a lot to do in here. With that sorted, it was time to bring in a race.
Three, two, one, go.
It was time to bring in a racing driver to see which of our cars could do the fastest lap. Our resident American said he wasn't interested because all three cars are probably communist. So instead, we went for a Belgian chap who's done Formula One and Formula E, Jerome D'Ambrosio. Took the cars out to get a sense of First, we were interested to hear his professional opinion.
La McLaren, une voiture, je pense peut-être la plus difficile à piloter.
Here we go!
So we moved on to the big...
Get a bloody move on!
Look how good it looks there.
Yes, James, you want to go and get a cup of tea?
Well, we've warmed the track.
Next, it was the turn of the Porsche 918.
How much faster will it go because of the stripes, do you think?
Much.
Finally, it was the turn of the psycho killer, the trickiest, the edgiest of the three. But I was so confident it'd win, I was prepared to take a massive gamble. If the McLaren isn't the fastest, you two can knock my house down.
What?
Knock it down.
What, your house?
Yeah, and I mean that. That's how confident I am that that will be the fastest.
That's you know we will do that.
Yep.
It's a serious bet.
Yeah.
Fine.
If that's not the fastest,
Yeah.
we can knock your house down.
Yep. You know where it is. You've both been.
Yeah. I'd love to knock it down.
Here we go. A lot riding on this. With that, back to the tent. Thank you so much. Now, I want to make it absolutely plain, because I know this matters to anoraks. All three cars were running on exactly the same sort of tyres.
Yes, same tyres, same track, same driver, so the times are down to the cars.
Yeah.
Yep, and now it is time to reveal those times. And let me just make it absolutely clear. We don't know what they are. The producers have kept them from us. They're top secret.
Yeah.
So let's put the scoreboard up and let's begin with the Ferrari, I believe. Let's see what it did it in, please. 154.4. We don't know if that's any good, do we? But...
Well, let's move on and do the Porsche next. Let's have a look. What did the Porsche do it in? And it didn't mince it, it was slower than the Porsche. I told you, it's just a melon ball. It's slower than my car, which was faster than your car.
Yeah, it's 0.2 of a second, and it looks better.
Yeah, it did. In my mirror, where it belongs, getting smaller. It's a melon ball, and it lost.
Hammond,
what?
Calm down.
All right.
Because now we must bring up the time that really matters.
Yeah.
The one where a lot's at stake. The McLaren, the McLaren P1.
Are you nervous?
No.
Sure.
No.
A little bit?
No, I'm not nervous.
Why be nervous? Because you could get like a shopping trolley and keep all your things in it, move it around, make some new friends under a bridge somewhere.
Hammond.
I'd say sell your body, don't do that.
Be quiet. Let's bring up the time of the P1. Here we go.
Oh, God.
Where is it?
Because you said the fastest, but it's not the fastest, it's the slowest.
Yeah. And on that terrible disappointment, I'm afraid it's time to end. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week in Johannesburg. Goodbye!
This is frightening. That's what it is. Come on. Here we go. That's what it is. This is frightening. That's what it is.
Jesus. This recalibrates.
Here we go! Well,
This is rubbish.
I was just thinking... Hurry up!
I am here because, gentlemen, I have in the...
Let's do this.
Or indeed any sort of thing, gave me a fizz like the Ferrari.
Away! It's tremendous. Forward. Here comes a bit dangerous then. Good. Looked like a ball.
This, I believe, will absolutely mince the other two. Oh, man!
James was... The nearest civilization is a town called Moore. In order to reach it, you must build the contents of these boxes. You have enough food for 7 days. But it's not such a... Hello and welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to what is a Grand Tour special.
Yep, and it's going to be a big one because we've had a request from Amazon. You know how if you're watching a...
Get a bloody move on. But for some extraordinary reason, car there.
Well, because that's where the boat dropped me off.
What boat?
Well, I shipped it from North America.
Here we go! Oh. Right, go, May. Go, go, go. Give it a yank.
3, 2, 1, go.
is that? I mean...
It's got 49 horsepower. It's going to ruin it.
For sure. Right, go, May. Go, go, go. Give it a yap.
3, 2, 1, go!
James, what is that? I mean...
It's got 49 horsepower. It's going to ruin it. Get
Can
the
we find
Jeep.
a small dog instead to tow it?
That is presumably a pickup truck. Yes?
Yes, you've
And
guessed.
four-wheel drive?
Yes.
Right. Why don't you go out there, cut away the polythene bag, and drive it out using the engine?
It's a good idea. Because what you don't do when you drive a car is use the engine in someone else's car. You use the one in your own car.
Yes.
Unfortunately, though, it wouldn't start.
No.
So, after getting brained by the waves for a while, he waded ashore again and came up with a harebrained scheme where the Fiat would be an anchor and the Jeep a tug.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, shit. Hammond, you moron!
Well, I couldn't do anything. I got no steering. I was
Why
talking...
didn't you tell us?
I was yelling on the radio. You pulled me
This
from a
family has
building.
loved this car since 1991, and you turn up from bloody Wales or North America or wherever it is you've been, and you've already ruined it.
Listen, it's been a bit of a cluster thing. We need to work it all out. We need communications properly organised.
What is
You
that?
need
That?
It's my ladder.
You bought something you can't get into or out of without a ladder.
It's very high up.
So far, Hammond's pickup had wrecked everything on the beach and all my cameras and cost us 10 hours. So we told him to shut up again and get it working. And once he'd done that...
Yeah!
We headed into Cartagena to buy some cameras.
Right, this Jeep Wrangler hardtail cost £8,000, and absolutely everything on it works. Go. I think it's going to be ideal, though, for wildlife photography because it's four-wheel drive, it's a Jeep. So I could use it to track a snow leopard. Got a 4-litre straight 6, so I could keep up with a diving eagle. And of course, no roof, bogged down windscreen. So, a 360-degree field of fire for my camera. God. Oh, nearly made.
Let me fill you in a bit on my 1998 Chevy CK Silverado. It's a full-size American pickup that's been made a bit bigger with a lift kit and modifications that I'll tell you about later. Go, go, go! I have four-wheel drive, high and low ratios. That and this massive lift kit, I can go anywhere with. No animal's going to stay away from my legs. Probably most wildlife photographers use things like this anyway. You don't see it, on the telly with that road stuff because, well, this is behind the scenes. This is how they get there.
you're alone, viewers, let me tell you a little bit about my car. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, that's just a Fiat Panda, and they're in South America, they're bound to be going over difficult terrain, yes, yes, yes. But let me tell you this, what you need for serious off-roading is smallness and lightness. That's what I've got. This is a tiny car, it weighs 780 kilograms, a quarter of what Hammond's stupid monster truck weighs. Away! Now, if you compare this with the original Series 1 Panda, it has a four-wheel drive system made in Austria, very dependable, slightly raised ride height, but the same engine. It does have inclinometers on it so that I can see when I'm about to fall over. It all works, the lights work, the hazards work, the fan, the cooling system, all the instruments, the windows and the automatic mirrors. It's all perfect, apart from the bit that Richard Hammond damaged.
Soon we arrived at the really rather beautiful walled city of Cartagena. Eventually, having got our shopping done, we met up for a camera show and tell. And once again, Hammond had gone completely over the top.
This is a 50mm prime, really fast, beautiful lens. Then I've got another harness, so that's for the actual camera. Importantly, of course, camera body, very good one.
Well remembered.
And most importantly of all, telephoto lens.
Shall I show you what I've got?
Yes?
I haven't bothered with any of that. I've just gone for the telephoto, not one of yours, but that. This is all I've got. That's all you need.
Well, that is literally it.
Yeah, that's all you need. Let's do this. James, move, you're in my sock. Woof. I've got to get further away.
Oh, Christ, I've got a macro on. Stay.
James, move, you're in my sock. Woof. I've got to get further away.
Oh, Christ, I've got a macro on. Stay. Pigeon. Don't scare me.
Get out of the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, am I annoying
Yes, you are.
Well, yes,
you
what
can't
do to
possibly
me?
need to be that close. Hello, horsey.
Eventually, we got into the groove. Got it.
Look at my pigeon.
And after just 20 minutes, we met up to celebrate a job well done.
Yeah, I've got a dog.
You've got that horse one.
I've got the pigeon looking gormless.
I think haven't we pretty much done it?
Number of dogs.
Hurry up! Why don't you pull alongside your colleague in his, let's be honest, 1 litre Fiat Panda with your 7.4 litre monster truck, and let's see who's got the slowest car, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go!
Go.
richest trailer trash Trump Hammond has been beaten, and beaten big time, bigly.
I mean, I don't want you to take this personally or anything, Hammond, but your truck must be utter garbage.
Absolute garbage.
You wait, this thing will come into its own soon and you'll be left gasping.
I'm longing to see the environment where that comes into its own. Since the Jaguars weren't going to be in built-up areas, we ploughed deep into the jungle, along a dirt path that was once a railway built by the British.
Let's go. For God's sake.
Come on.
Oops.
Drive carefully. That's will do. Right, Jaguars, they are very difficult to spot and very, very rare. You don't want to come face to face with a Jaguar, though, because it does have very strong bitey bits. Kills its prey by biting through its skull and then penetrating its brain.
We drove for miles along the disused railway until eventually LGB Jeremy came to a halt.
Gentlemen, I'm rather confused here. We're approaching a bridge, okay? It says no cars, no people, no motorcycles, and no horses.
Well, what's it for then?
Moments later, we found out. It's all right, James. Why don't you just... He is actually going. James doesn't like heights.
Oh, did you see that one just moved?
Yes. What is that? Hold on. That's
Oh, careful.
1, 2. You've got 7 or 8, maybe 8 feet.
But that means I'll have to drive. I can't.
Wait, it's got massive tyres. You'll just be running on the outer ones.
Well, so I get to this bit. My car is wider than that, and that's wider than my wheel. It won't do it.
And that's high, actually. What is that, 300 feet?
Some hundreds of feet, yes. Oh, dear.
Even though Hammond isn't at all accident-prone, I went first. Seatbelt on or off? Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really?
Go.
This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. This is not the television.
Oh, bollocks. Speed is the answer.
Right, so, new plan.
drive carefully.
Oh. Right, I've made it. That's good.
Hammond, you will shit your pants doing this.
Well, that's helpful.
I already am watching.
No! Not looking down, thinking about other things. Now very slowly. What am I doing? It's not going to work. Oh, no. So slow. Ow! Keep going, keep going. Get faster.
And then it was the turn. Big Donald.
Oh, God. The only way I can do this is by looking at the driver's side tyre and keeping it as close as I can to that edge. And hoping to God that gives me enough. Oh, Christ. I'm shaking like I've never shaken. God! Plenty of power, this is good. I'm just going to look at the wood, not at what's below, just look at the wood.
Who is that clippity-clopping across my bridge?
Oh, God! Not the Billy Goat Grub game.
I will move my Jeep out of your way. If you can answer this simple prog rock question.
I don't know anything about prog rock at all! Let me off the bridge, I'm going to be sick, please.
Eventually, Hammond became quite irritated, so I abandoned the game. And soon, all of us became quite irritated. James, have you broken down?
Yes.
Problem is, you have people on the extreme left, James May, people on the extreme right, Richard Hammond, and it's always the liberal, sensible people in the middle, like me, who cop for it.
Eventually, having fixed the Fiat, I was back on the road again.
This car is just amazing.
But then,
oh dear, I think I've just lost the exhaust pipe. This is tremendous. It's like being on a rally stage. Away! This way, this way, this way. know that Tony and Sherry Blair were, in fact, massive World Rally Championship fans. In fact, I think they took part in a couple on the quiet. They just didn't want people to know about it. They thought it would sort of damage their reputation and their standing. Unlike, say, starting a war.
Further ahead, my long lens had grabbed a couple of animals.
I don't believe Amazon will be rushing to have that as their screensaver.
Further ahead, my long lens had grabbed a couple of animals.
I don't believe Amazon will be rushing to have that as their screensaver.
But we had yet to bag a jag. However, as it's a nocturnal animal, we were hoping for more luck as darkness fell. Eventually, though, after driving deep into the jungle, we arrived at exactly the sort of spot where jaguars like to hang out.
This is extraordinarily promising.
I'm bored, and I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes.
I'm being eaten and I'm bored as well.
I think if a jaguar came now, I wouldn't see it. My eyes have shut down from boredom.
What are we going to do?
I know, but that is boring.
No, because honestly, I mean, the truth is, people could come out here for 40 years and not see a jaguar.
Well, we could use my trap cameras.
Use the trap cameras.
Set it up and they're triggered by an animal and then they take a picture.
Well, you've got those with you?
Yeah, in the bag.
Well, why the hell didn't you say that when we turned up?
Nobody asked.
These are set off remotely.
Yeah, if an
Well,
animal...
why are we still here?
That's a very good point, actually. It's better that we go away, isn't it?
Let's take the Bear Grylls approach to natural history. There was a town, well, 10 kilometres away. Why don't we go into the town, have a drink, check into a hotel? How's that sound?
And then come back tomorrow and
Yes.
check the cameras.
Yes.
That's how you're supposed to use them. It's in the instructions. That's what you do. You set it.
The next morning, with James in a state of deep puzzlement, Hammond and I checked out the ruined trap cameras.
So, let me just get this clear. The jaguar mauled your camera?
Yeah.
Is that really where it's bitten it?
Yeah, look, bits come off it.
So, but he's broken it.
Yes, he's broken.
But did
anyway.
this is the important thing. Did we get any pictures?
All right, look.
No.
Something triggered it. Maybe a leaf. Ah, look! There!
Where?
There! That's
Oh,
it.
that's it!
That's it
God,
walking
it's
back. It's a
camouflage.
There's his head,
it
there's
is.
his head! That's its actual face.
I mean, they're not-
There.
Yeah, but he's got a tree in front of him.
Oh, yeah, but that's context, that's habitat.
What's that?
This is when it got destroyed. That's its mouth. That's whiskers. Look.
No.
That's a jaguar biting. That is an action shot. That's probably got awards all over it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Eyes.
Oh, now that is a great picture, and we can move on.
It is.
We have ticked that box. That's the ace of spades, the jaguar. That's Saddam Hussein. We've now got to go and get his sons.
With the jaguar in the bag, our sights were set on the next target. Another rare and reclusive creature, the spectacled bear.
We now have to drive 200 miles to find the sort of terrain where we're going to be able to photograph the King of Spades, Edgar Hussein, Paddington. And eventually we arrived in Spectacle Bear Country. Right, now listen. What to do?
What? I like your trousers.
Well, no, at least he's trying. He's making an effort. But you should have gone the whole hog. Maybe some nice, hey, we're in the outdoors, some nice chaps. Suede, but ventilated at the back. And that shirt, you've picked up that colour. Have you been getting advice?
Maybe turn our attention to the bears now, to Paddington.
His skin's flaking. You should moisturise.
It's... what?
You should moisturise.
A little bit.
In the Why should I moisturise?
Because your skin's flaking.
Because you're dry. You look like something found in a pyramid.
Anyway, listen, we must turn our attention.
Let's have a look at the sarcophagus.
I'm not putting that in the British Museum.
Rather than put up with any more of this persecution, I insisted we saddle up and set off to look for Paddington.
Go!
Diagonal, obviously, while crossing these things. Oh, shite!
Oh! Oh! Look at you with a wheel in the air.
Can we please try not to make this look like it's a problem, because the ladies and gentlemen think we're hopeless. I tried to drive myself out, which went well. Speed and power.
He's just dug himself a hole.
So I asked Hammond for help, but predictably, his pickup truck chose that moment to go into one-wheel drive.
Oh. Oh, dear.
There was only one solution. With the rope hitched up, we were ready to go.
So, I'll give you a small tug.
Was that a gentle tug?
There we go.
And then it's down to you, because I haven't got the weight to pull you, OK? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go!
A Fiat Panda!
Yes!
Yes!
Jeremy Corbyn just pulled Freddie Mercury out.
It's a meeting of minds.
I'm not sure we're very good at fist pumping. With that calamity sorted, Hammond got four-wheel drive back, and we resumed our mission. Right. Let's go on a bear hunt. Looking forward to seeing a bear, I really am. I like all bears except polar bears, which I hate. are vicious and they eat school children. Joyously, we soon found another suitable spot, where I discovered I had a small problem. I'm still not high enough up to see over the shrubs.
Well, nothing you can do about it now.
What?
Shut up. Nothing you can do about
Yeah,
it.
I'm telling you, I'm just wishing I was a bit higher.
How high you are.
What was that?
That's bear noise. Shh. I'm not bored now. That is a bear. It's a bear. It's a bear. I can't see it. It's fantastic. There's a bear. Yes, it is. It moved. Shh. That's his face. Oh, yeah.
Having had a decent night's sleep, we convened to plan our next move. Morning.
What's the matter with your face?
It's not good.
No.
It's like being in The Singing Detective.
It is.
It's a bloody roof. Anyway, listen.
Sorry, I'm briefly mesmerised.
Listen.
I'm back.
While you were out this morning buying new action trousers, I see, I have got a book. All of Colombia's wildlife is in this book. Yep, all of it. I've been through it. Guess what there isn't?
A hippopotamus.
Well, so far we've got pigeon, dog, horse.
Donkey.
Don't bring those up, please. Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Bear.
Yes.
Condor is next. Condor is next.
Is there a case, I think there is, for a little light car modification?
I agree, there is. There is. I think I might be scaring them off a bit. I could make some changes.
I'm
Tell
just
you what I
thinking...
could give my car. A roof.
Yeah, that's
There
a
is
good
evidence
idea.
to suggest in your flaking visage.
Then you wouldn't look like Michael Gambon in the 80s.
I am Michael Gambon in the 80s. We then went shopping in Bogota's massive auto district. 20 city blocks of nothing but shops selling car parts.
OK, you have to find mine.
Where is it?
Well, yours is the one disguised as a bush in an industrial car park.
I've camouflaged it.
Well, yes, you painted it.
It's got roll-down netting that goes over the windows when I'm using it as a hide, and it has an inbuilt... Well, it's got a raise on it as well, because the one problem I've had is ground clearance.
What?
Yet,
You've spent 2 days laughing at Hammond and me because we've got cars that have been raised and how awful they are, and then you've done exactly the same.
As an alternative expression, rather than I'm going to raise my car, why not I'm going to ruin my car?
What you've done is
it does.
ruined it.
well, let's see. I've done it very subtly.
Well, can we move on to Hammond, who's obviously
If
gone
you can find it.
completely mad?
I too have gone the camouflage route because it's green, as you can see. I've mended the half shaft up here. That's the only mechanical work I've had to do because other than that, it's been perfect. Yes, this structure here
Yeah.
is a hide.
I know it is. It's a hide on a monster truck. And you, because it's you put 2 cameras in there to film yourself.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
I love the idea that you two, afraid there's no other word, morons, have decided that somehow you can camouflage your cars so they won't be seen by animals. I have already proved that mine can drive right up to a bear. He's interested.
Speaking of yours, what have you done? Whoa, what's all that on the back?
That, gentlemen, is a scissor lift.
What?
It's a scissor lift. Simply get in that and rise up. So that I have
so you're going to be a window cleaner.
The only thing this didn't really have was proper elevation. Now I have it.
How high does it go?
38 feet.
Really?
Yes.
It'll just fall over.
Aha! That's why I fitted it with outriggers.
They're not far enough apart or big enough.
They slide...
How much does it weigh, that?
I've added half a ton. And there's something else I've done. Oxygen is fitted for my engine.
Why do you need oxygen?
Because we're going very high.
Well, 38 feet.
No, 15,000 feet. More, actually. Nearly 16,000 feet.
Really?
Why?
Condors. They're in the sky.
That is
So I've got oxygen for the altitude, which
Yeah.
we're going to.
Yeah,
That'll stop my face disintegrating.
It won't.
And that means I can photograph birds.
it won't.
As it was another 200-mile drive to reach Condor country, we decided to get cracking immediately. Condor country, we decided to get cracking immediately.
That was a mistake. That was a massive mistake. No.
I cannot wait to see a Condor because they are one of the most superb creations on Earth. They just are magnificent. They can stay at 18,000 feet all day, maybe flap their arms once. Right, gentlemen, we're passing 10,000 feet now. How's your temperature gauges?
Mine's getting hot, really hot.
Weirdly, my car isn't overheating, but it is producing some steam because I think maybe the cap isn't perfectly sealed and the ambient pressure is going down.
Yeah.
Why does he say ambient pressure? Why not just pressure?
We continue on Jeremy's journey up into the heavens.
Right, we're at something like 11,500 feet. We're still climbing. Car is definitely struggling now. The engine burns a mixture of oxygen and petrol, mainly oxygen. The oxygen is going down, so you can't burn as much petrol, so the engine develops less power. We'll have to go for second. Climb, Pepe!
Keep an eye on the temperature. It is working extra hard. We might just pass a critical level at which this car can't suck in enough oxygen to mix with fuel to burn. And then I'll run out of steam.
The good thing is that while my colleagues were painting their cars, I was fitting mine with oxygen tanks. So when I start to really struggle, I shall simply feed pure O2 to the engine and me.
Oh my God. Come on.
Hammond, how are things in your monster truck?
Not brilliant, it's gone very wheezy and
It's getting very hot.
We just passed 14,000 feet now. Really running out of power. Switching to oxygen for the engine. There we are. 2 clicks. Right, watch this. No.
Oh, nearly made it.
Whoops.
That will do. Here he comes. Savage acceleration.
Come on, Jeep. Yes, you little beauty. Ooh. I may have overreached myself a little bit.
Oh, look at all the condos I can see. They're everywhere.
It doesn't work. Let's face it.
I've had a brilliant idea. Let's just get off this dusty bit and set our hides up there.
Yes.
So, we drove off the dust. Found a new, likely-looking spot. And when the clouds had lifted, we set about getting ready to do photography.
The idea of the netting is it stops the shine on the windows, which is very visible to animals. Oh. There's some on this side as well.
Right, it's ready.
You're going up in it?
Well, why'd you not?
Well, I see one reason. You see the maximum weight? 159 kilograms.
Well,
You're not going anywhere, are you?
well, the camera is quite heavy.
No. Oh, okay, yes, the camera. Why?
This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure.
I wouldn't like that. That's really horrible. Keep going until the end bit drops out.
Why don't you two
Yes?
get in your cars?
Yes?
Okay.
And can I just reinforce one thing?
What?
Silence is key.
Agreed.
That ridge up there looks promising.
Right. Where is it?
No, back a bit, back.
I can't go back. I'll have to go all the way round.
What? I can hear it from up here. Right, that one there, stop.
Got it. I think I'll make a coffee. Sorry.
Then it was May's turn to disturb the peace.
What is that?
It's a bird call.
It's a duck.
Moments later, though, there was an even worse noise.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
If only there was something tall and metal that would attract the lightning.
Not wishing to be fried, I quickly descended. And then we all tried to outrun the storm. Which didn't work.
Completely useless.
It was horrible.
Bollocks. Come on, come on. Come on, keep going. Come on, let's go. Oh, yeah. This is just brilliant. Quite typical of those two, just wore off being brilliant. Oh no. Oh, for God's sake. Damn him. Yay! Oh, just that. Oh, come on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no. Ow. Oh. Hey. Don't be stupid. It's rubbish and lethal. Oh, God. Oh. Well, hang on. Communist. Gotta keep the pressure on.
Mercifully, though, the storm passed, so we drove down the rough and icy mountain track, long into the night. And the next morning, woke for a rethink in a makeshift camp on the edge of a town. What are you doing?
I told you condors live down here.
He's living. It was living up there and it's had engine failure and it's crashed here.
Doesn't matter how it got here. Fact is, it is, and I've got the pictures of it. That means we're done.
You can't put that on an Amazon screensaver.
Why not?
Well, it's lost quite a lot of its majesty.
But it's a condor, and that means we're finished. That's it, we've done. James, I've got a condor shot.
Have you? You done it?
That is the final one. It's a condor, in camera, finished, out of here.
Hammond was wrong, though. We still had one more animal to find. The one that didn't make any sense. The hippopotamus. Right, listen. This is obviously some kind of town. I am a journalist, and a bloody good one. So why don't I pop into town and see if I can find out anything about this hippopotamus story? Having got the information, I went back to my colleagues.
Any joy?
More than. I have heard the most astonishing story. Apparently, there was this guy in Colombia who had a business exporting forest products all around the world, okay? Really, really successful. So successful, he bought himself some pet hippopotamuses.
Who was he?
Pablo, someone or other. Anyway, the police shot him.
Why?
I don't know. They shot him, and after he was dead, his hippopotamuses escaped. Yeah? And they've been living in the wild and breeding. So there are hippopotamuses here, and they are wild, and I know where they are, and they're only 120 kilometres away.
Well, we're in.
Let's do it.
Finish your coffees.
That's
That is
excellent.
staggering news.
The only thing is, for this 120 kilometres, would either of you mind if I modified my car by unmodifying it? We were now on the last 75 miles of our 1,300-mile trek through what had turned out to be one of the world's most incredible countries. If you were to combine Canada and Russia and Australia, you still wouldn't have the variety in terms of terrain and temperature and wildlife that we've seen on this absolutely epic journey.
Yes, viewers, about a kilometre to go, and I haven't been run over by a monster truck. Get away! Rubbish! Thank you, Bachelor. I'm absolutely delighted. Hammond, I can only see you behind me. Can you see Clarkson behind you?
No, just looking for him.
At that moment, though, we were distracted by what lay in front of us.
Get a bloody move on.
Hee hee. Look at his big fat face. Yes.
Well, that's it.
That's tremendous.
Let's do this.
Scary bridge you
I
did.
don't know. He overcooked it because it's nearly...
Thank you so much.
Oh, good. Oh, no.
Is that?
It is.
Oh, brief moment of elation followed by plummeting depression.
Here we go! Taken?
They won't.
Well, some of them are quite good.
Well, one or two of them are good.
No.
Well, whatever. We'll see you very soon. Goodbye. better bloody move on. Hurry up! But this week, the Grand Tour is focusing mostly on China. And over there, things are a bit different. As recently as the... It's out of the way. Eventually, we arrived at the location for our first... Here we go! When you finished, for every one of the targets that haven't gone off.
Right, we're all set. Oh, no.
From the sky! Oh! Oh!
There's the drone on my left, the first one. No.
Oh, God! Bandits at 10 o'clock.
That'll have alarmed him.
It will have alarmed him, Sam, yeah.
You know dogs don't like fireworks.
No, they hate it.
Go. Oh, no! Quite slow there. Go. Danger.
That was such a good laugh. Melting around with airborne flamethrowers. Really good afternoon, that
Yes.
What?
Hang on.
Yeah?
That was a totally useless test.
We had a call the other day from a Chinese car manufacturer called NIO, and they said, we have built a blisteringly fast, all-electric supercar, and would one of you like to try it out?
Yeah, now, after his escapade going up a Swiss hill in a blisteringly fast all-electric supercar, Richard Hammond said that he really didn't think he was the man for the job. However, it turned out that the car was only available for one day, and unfortunately on that day I had the boiler man coming round.
Yep. And I had a dental appointment?
Dentist.
Dental appointment, yeah.
Yep. So, guess what?
Hurry up!
This bit is really scary. Come on. Oh, God. Are you ready? Oh, no.
It's like driving a jet engine. Something else about which I have bad memories. This is a bad place.
However, there is some good news for people like me.
The brakes! Whoa! That's put everything back where it should be. My eyes have come forward, my lungs are on the front again. Oh.
Now, if you want to experience this phenomenal speed for yourself, you will need two things.
First of all, a lot of money, because this costs £1.15 million. Secondly...
Let's do this.
Get a bloody move on.
Grip, grippity grip! Go.
There's no doubt that as a piece of engineering, the Neo is...
Thanks for sticking me with that.
Let's do this. Let's find out how fast your beloved Neo goes round the Ebola drone.
Good job.
Good roll. So exciting with those noises.
I like the noises.
Well, you can't like those.
No, there's a whole new set of noises, you pillock.
OK.
It's the future.
OK, let's see how fast your elegantly entitled Neo EP9
Yes.
got round, shall we? Here we go. Top 10?
Come on.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
Quicker than
Oh,
an
yes.
airplane.
Oh, yes. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. That is faster than the Aston Martin Vulcan.
You're absolutely right, Hammond. It is a very impressive car, and it is faster than a Vulcan. But it's slower than the petrol-powered McLaren Senna, which is road legal. So that is petrol 1,
yes,
electricity 0.
All right, don't do that face. Don't do that face. No.
Smug face.
Not the smug face. James, just move it on quick.
Yes, in this show, we are explaining to the people of China that they don't need to waste huge sums of money on new luxury cars when they could buy something used from Europe for a lot less.
We got back on the road in our fire-damaged cars, with James still moaning about his temperature issues.
The air conditioning is now so broken that it's permanently hot even when I turn it to low and press every auto button.
I decided there was only one thing I could do about this. Ignore him. Jesus. Look at that. They're actually building another motorway with viaducts and tunnels on the other side of the valley. Not one motorway. Why do you need another one over there? Still, all these motorways did mean we could prove that our cars work well as long-distance cruisers. Because it was fun. However, in the USS Norman Schwarzkopf...
Oh, God. It's dying.
What's happened?
Loads of warnings came on, and then it lost power. I made it to this off-ramp, and now it died. Hurry up!
Eventually, well...
Check out my Fulu.
Why have you got that?
Well, I wasn't going to let you...
Here we go!
Okay.
He looks quite cross.
It does, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
There you go.
Go!
Rubbish.
Next, it was my turn. Right, I'm attaching the wobbly-headed symbol of capitalism here to bring me good fortune on this perilous test.
If you're ready.
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Go. Looking good is more important than looking where you're going. Here we go. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah.
You overdid it, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I've won that.
Well, we don't know. We haven't got your time yet.
You said your words, test of durability, and it's against the clock. Your car is broken.
It's not broken. A tyre's come off.
Broken.
Down at the start line, I was waiting for the signal to go.
Little cubby hole.
Richard Hammond.
Hello, yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, come on, I'm not... Right, okay, here I go.
anyone... Did he just crash it?
Was that a crash, or did he just disappear behind the...
He has, look, he's gone off there. So there we are. I'm afraid that Richard Hammond's luck has finally run out, and it's with deep regret and great sadness that James and I must now announce the untimely demise of...
All right.
Not again.
How does he do it?
I don't know.
Well, on that terrible disappointment, back to the tent.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Smug face.
Don't worry.
Smug because I won that.
No, you didn't.
I did. I was the fastest, and it was supposed to be a test of fun, and you moaned the entire way up the hill.
Hello?
What?
Hello? I did have quite a big crash at the end there. I just thought we could...
There's nothing particularly remarkable about that, is there? I mean, why would we...
The fact is, the reason you crashed, well, obviously your incompetence, but also because your Cadillac broke down and your Mercedes was too humid. So that means the winner is definitely, of the whole thing, the BMW 750i. What?
Actually, no. To be fair, the real winner of the whole thing was our brilliant idea to sell second-hand limos to the Chinese.
No, he's absolutely right about that, because it makes them happy and it helps us with our balance of payments.
Everybody wins.
It was a good idea.
Yes.
Except for one tiny detail. You see, this programme is shown in every single country in the world, except one.
Which one?
China. So this entire show has been a total waste of time. It's an hour of your life you'll never get back. And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end. Next week, I'm happy to say, we're back in the groove. We're in Scotland, and I get an Alfa Romeo GTV6. Make me very happy. See you then. Take care. Good night.
Good night.
Eventually, we arrived at the location for our first test. It's one of 78 centres around Chongqing where teenagers can learn to drive away from the traffic. To us, get a bloody move on. We've finished for every one of the targets that haven't gone off.
For God's sake.
Time to play. Go, go.
Fire from the sky! Ah!